Good afternoon. My name is Andrea Goldstrom, and today I'll be discussing debunking myths, neuroscience, and learning techniques. Years ago in my psychology class, back in high school, we were taking a survey to determine what type of learner we were. It was discovered that I was a hands-on learner, or kinesthetic learner, that getting into the dirt, so to speak, was the best way for me to retain information. The purpose of the survey was not for the teacher to apply to the individual student, rather a means of self-reflection. Perhaps that was not such a bad thing that the teacher did not teach her students just one way. This is because research shows that while these surveys can determine a kid's learning style, that there is no evidence to show the benefits of only teaching them one way. According to Dr. Paul Howard Jones, an associate professor of neuroscience and education, he even suggested that some students benefit from a learning style other than what they have preference for. So even though it was discovered that I was a kinesthetic learner and I did have preference for learning hands-on, I had also found that I can learn as well from watching other people do the work as well. The benefit of knowing the best way to learn, be it visual, auditory, or kinesthetic, can be a great help for someone to self-improve. For example, reflecting years ago, it was an aha moment for me when I was able to remember my science teacher, Mr. Reed. One subject he was teaching us was about electricity. So instead of us just working out of workbooks or filling out worksheets, he also had us construct a little house using wires and batteries. The same goes with my art teacher, Miss Bennett. Instead of us just learning about a famous artist's techniques, we were also able to recreate the techniques on our own canvases. But the drawbacks to relying solely on these surveys to teach a child can limit a student's ability to learn. A teacher cannot just teach a lesson by giving their students packets and books to read from. A teacher needs to be more engaging by introducing a plethora of learning techniques. Howard Gardner, a world-renowned psychologist, reflects that another drawback in categorizing someone as a visual learner is not looking at the fact that both spatial information and reading occur with the eye. Even music and speaking activate the ears, which are from deterrent cognitive faculties. Among the ethical issues raised in connection with the field of neuroeducation is teachers' vulnerability to misinformation concerning neuroscience and its relevance to the classroom practice. What should be learned here is that the information that is taught is retained by applying different learning techniques, rather than focusing on one learning style, as we have multiple intelligences. Our brains are able to discriminate between what we learn, building on larger and larger chunks of information. We do not just see, we look. We do not just hear, we listen. We use our multiple senses to explore the world around us, which means we learn in different ways. Different learning techniques should be emphasized in the classroom setting. Teaching should be individualized. It is fun to give the surveys to students, as it will help the teacher understand their individual needs for more effective teaching. This is, however, easier to teach in small classroom settings, which should be noted. Pluralizing teaching is teaching materials in different ways. Examples of this could include stories, works of art, role-playing, movies, and presentations. The sky is the limit. Neuroeducation should be considered as important for teachers, as it is understanding the workings of the brain. Students want to know how their brain changes, as it changes the way they think about themselves. It can change how a teacher can plan their activities by carefully designing and planning their time based around their students. Teachers can change the structure of their lessons in order to engage multiple senses, or even modifying the physical classroom environment. Benedict Carey says it well. We invent learning theories out of whole cloth, that our thinking is rooted more in superstition than it is in science. Just because we are taught one thing in school doesn't necessarily hold truth, as a year from now, as we continue to explore the different mysteries of the mind, our theories of learning will change as well. Thank you so much for your time.